Women.
I don't know if anyone can relate to me on this, but like my type in a boy is completely different to like my type I would want in a husband. What I mean by that is like what I'm attracted to, single, is different to what I would want my husband to be like. I'm not talking about looks, I'm talking more about like personality, actions, hobbies, stuff like that. If I had to describe like what boys I'm like attracted to, it would be someone who likes going to the pub, likes a drink, see him at the bar, like a boy that like smokes, probably a little bit like rough around the edges, probably does like some, you know, breaks the law maybe a little bit. I wouldn't describe my type as like a bad boy. Like I'm not really into like bad boys, like that whole bad boy vibe, but like someone who's a little bit, you know, like that. Then my husband would be like completely different. I don't want to be in a relationship where like we're drinking. I don't want to be with someone who uses substances, smokes, stuff like that. Someone who's like proper into the gym, doesn't really like going out, doesn't really like partying. Yeah, I don't really know how to describe it. Like my type when I'm single is different to my type I would look for if I was trying to find a husband. Like I would never ever get with a bad boy as a husband. That would be like my biggest nightmare.
The reason no one is dating anymore is because women are attracted to men who don't exist yet, and men are attracted to women that no longer exist. There has always been many mediocre and performative relationships in the world, and the only reason why these relationships lasted was because women had fewer legal rights, financial independence, or options to leave. Women started to take control of their lives. They evolved. They became independent. While men sit resentful, asking who will make them a fucking sandwich. And today, even if a woman deeply wants a relationship, she won't sacrifice herself anymore. And the whole idea of successful families used to rely on one person taking care of that family. And guess who that person was? A woman.
One of the most frequently asked questions that I get as a woman of 50 who left her husband, who was a nice guy, is, why didn't you stay and work it out rather than leave? And my answer to that is, all of my life I have tried to be a good person. I tried my hardest at my marriage. I tried to be a good wife. I've tried to be a good mom, a good daughter, a good sister, a good employee. And at 50, I was exhausted. I needed to do something for myself. That's the answer. I chose myself. So rather than me crack and become a shadow of myself, I decided to shine. And it's as simple as that. He didn't do any harm to me. He wasn't a bad person, but I wasn't happy and I chose myself. And for the first time in my life, I'm not trying to be the best for anyone else other than for me. I hope that helps.
I went on my first ever online date yesterday, and it was amazing. I had so much fun. He was good looking, he was engaging, he was incredibly generous, he was funny, and really interesting. Tell me why I didn't fancy him. I just didn't fancy him. I didn't feel a click or a connection. The connection was on a friendly basis, and a lot of you don't understand that because I made a video about it yesterday when I came home, and you're saying that you can't understand why. I don't blame you. Here's a couple of things he did that turned me off. Weren't the main reason, but they turned me off. In no particular order, and some completely for no reason at all. Don't come at me, guys. Just the way I am, and I know a lot of you are like this as well. I'm not like that. I'd never do that. It was a really lovely cocktail bar. We had mocktails because I don't drink, and he mirrored that, which I thought was really polite. We didn't have to do that. And when the drinks arrived, there's such a thing as, you know, the garnish on top of cocktails. It's called a salad, apparently. And his one came without the salad. Midway through the drinks, he calls the server over and he says, excuse me, and he starts sort of pointing at this drink, and he says, where's the salad? I say salad, guys, it's just like a little garnish on top. I mean, a rind or a little leaf, tiny little leaf. So the server says they no longer serve the drinks like that. They have rejigged the menu, and that is how they come now. And he's just staring at him going, and I'm thinking, the server's apologising, and he's kind of going, no, I just wanted to say, like, where is it? And I'm thinking, are we really talking about this? It's gone from a non-issue to a bit of an issue now, which was so weird. Why would you kind of bring that up on a first date? Like, kind of suck it up, man, and talk like he goes here all the time. Created a bit of an atmosphere, something really strange. Spoke with his wrists. quite limp-wristed. I really don't like that. Some of you don't like people's mimics. I don't like limp wrists when men are talking. I really don't like that. When I first arrived, he asked me how long it took to get there, which I thought was really polite and sweet. And then he asked me that twice more because he wasn't listening. Could have been nervous, I get it, but no, he genuinely wasn't listening. Let me recap. Attentive, good-looking, interesting, funny, great job, has his own place, travelled the world. Didn't fancy him. Shockingly, that kind of don't come at me going, your comments are contrary. If he was all of these things, then why? I'm not forcing myself. Don't you want to feel a fanny flutter? And let's not forget to add, he's probably feeling exactly the same way about me. And that's all right.
When she's single and in her prime, she wants the rough around the edges guy at the bar who drinks, smokes, and maybe breaks the law a little bit, the high testosterone rebel who provides a short-term chemical rush. But when it's time to settle down, she expects a complete pivot to a clean-cut, gym-going, non-partying provider who will offer safety, predictability, and a stress-free environment. This is the classic dynamic of trying to outsource excitement to one type of man and stability to another. The trap for the husband material guy is massive. He is expected to spend his youth grinding, staying disciplined and avoiding bad habits, only to buy into a market where he gets a woman who already gave her raw, uninhibited passion to a criminal at a pub. He gets the bill for the lifestyle, while the bad boy got the best years for free. A rational man refuses to act as the retirement plan for a woman who spent her youth chasing chaotic dopamine and getting ran through by Chad Rohn.
She's damaged goods.
She's trying to frame the collapse of modern dating as some glorious female evolution, completely blinding herself to the reality of human incentives. She claims women became fully independent while men just sat around getting resentful, but look at the actual math of what she's saying. She admits women are now chasing a caliber of man that doesn't exist yet. That is a massive psychological self-report. It means the average modern woman has expanded her financial footprint, but instead of adjusting her dating pool, her hypergamous wiring has calibrated to demand an imaginary superhero who earns more than her, outpaces her independence, and handles all the emotional labor.
The girl is deluded.
Listen to the casual brutality of this confession. She is 50 years old, openly admitting she walked away from a nice guy who did absolutely zero harm to her, simply because she was exhausted from the basic adult responsibilities of being a wife and a mother. She frames this nuclear detonation of a stable family unit as a heroic spiritual awakening, using corporate buzzwords like choosing myself and deciding to shine to completely bypass the moral guilt of breaking a lifelong contract. She thinks she's offering inspirational advice to the internet, but she is actually broadcasting a massive warning label about the risk profile of modern marriage. If a woman can look at a lifetime of peace and a blameless husband and still walk out the door at 50 because she wants to do something for herself, then men need to realize that building a life solely on the foundation of keeping a woman happy is a high-risk gamble with a fluctuating return on investment.
Don't fall for it.
Listen to the absolute hypercritical checklist this girl is running through. She meets a guy who is good looking, interesting, generous, funny, owns his own place, and even mirrors her sobriety by ordering a mocktail just to be polite. On paper, he ticks every boxes a logical woman would want, but she completely disqualifies him over a piece of cocktail garnish. She wants the funny flutter and the immediate spark, completely ignoring that long-term stability and character aren't built on a hormonal rush. The lesson here is that a man can do everything right, be attentive, successful and polite, and still get filtered out because his wrist placement wasn't masculine enough. Stop jumping through hoops trying to achieve perfection for women who are actively looking for a reason to throw you away. These types of women don't deserve the effort, time and energy you're putting into them.
I have better things to do with my time.
Real Men of Genius.